Good morning, my fine feathered friends. Oh, that's another club I belong to. Hi guys, it's me, Vicky, Mila Bono. First of all, I hope you all had a wonderful Easter Sunday and the bunny was good to everyone. And if you don't celebrate Easter, I hope you just had a good spring weekend. If some of you watched my card video, you'll know I was a little bit tense and aggravated in my video that I did of my card to my mother-in-law. Let me tell you what was going on behind the scenes. The bunny rabbit came to our house Saturday night. My grandson was here, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to get this out of the way. My husband was going to my mother-in-law's on Sunday. Well, I just said I'm going to stay home on Easter Sunday. So in my head, I'm thinking, free day, free mommy, free the wife. I'll be able to sit around and craft and do what I want to do. My plans were to get my mother-in-law's card done and do some scrapbooking and eat cake for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Okay, well, no, not dinner, because I had a nice dinner planned for the only people that was supposed to be here was my son and my grandson. Remember, my husband's going to his mommy's house. Well, that didn't turn out that way. When I was filming the video of my mother-in-law's card, my grandson was right outside the door, which is maybe 5 feet away from me, standing on his little electric Jeep thingy with 1 foot in the air. He was bent over with his sword. He thought he was a ninja, but he's not. And I thought, okay, in about 2 seconds, this kid's going to eat some cement. And then my son is standing right next to him on his phone, tap, 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 text, Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, tap, tap. And then my husband is out there with the neighbors and some kind of machines. Wow! I had just said to them, I'm going to record a real quick YouTube video of this card before I give it away. Could you all keep it down out there? Could you move away from the door? Oh, it was like magic words. Not only did my husband, son, and grandson come closer to the door, but the whole neighborhood was right up against the door. So I was a little irritated. So that's what was going on in that video. Now, let's get to my layouts. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of these layouts I did so long ago. Once again, I don't know what the heck I used. So if I can, I'll share with you what product I used. And well, there's a news story on the background on this layout I'm showing you. I used to never buy like October Afternoon, Echo Park. I only bought paper stacks. Heck, I didn't know about 2 peas in a pod, or no, is that what's called? 2 peas in a bucket, or a cherry on top. I just only shopped at Joann or Michael's. The background of this layout is from a paper stack, and I believe it's from Die Cuts with a View, Dots, Stripes, and Plaids, but I have a drawer of paper that has come loose from stacks, and I don't know what they're from, and this was in that drawer. So I think the background comes from Die Cuts with a View, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this is a double page layout. It is a Halloween layout, and I bet you're all thinking, oh my gosh, here we go. She went from Christmas to Halloween, but I only put together a few Halloween layouts because I wanted to do a few layouts of Halloween for my grandson's mother's album that I'm almost finished with. So I thought, well, as long as I had the Halloween pictures and papers out, I may as well do a few of my own favorite Halloween photographs. Anyway, and I will zoom in a moment for you guys. This paper is definitely from Dots, Stripes, and Plaids. Along the edge here, I wonder, can I zoom y'all in? Hang on. Yes, I can. This I cut with my Martha Stewart loop border punch. The orange paper is, I believe, Authentique Halloween collection. My little chipboards come from Ready Set Chip by Cosmo Cricket. This is the Matilda collection. This comes from K & Company Halloween Ephemera packet. As this, and that all come from K & Company Ephemera packet. I stamped on here one of my, it's an old-fashioned type of camera stamp, and I don't know what collection that came from, but it didn't really stamp well anyway. This stamp, when I look through the lens, I see life. That's Allie Edwards. I journaled using my Signo Uniball gel pen. This is a 5x7. I did cut it down a little bit. This, the little pennant over here, is from Echo Park, and I believe that is Echo Park, the Playground collection, as are the alphabets here. I love Echo Park's alphabets. This is also from Echo Park Playground. Now let me turn you. Trick or Treat. This circle with the little spiders. This little puppy dog over here, vampire puppy dog. That's all from the K & Company Ephemera packet. You'll see, once again, I used the Matilda chipboard. See there? See the little, let me sit you down again and point, and I'll zoom in again in a minute. See this little right here? That's my washi tape from prettytape.etsy.com. The little eyes is from the K & Company packet. These little labels right here are from L Studio. It's their little labels. Now, I picked those up from Two Peas in a Bucket. Guys, these are not sticky on the back. They're well, the L Studio labels I bought, or pennants and ribbons, were not sticky on the back. I don't know if all of them are like that. This little bread is from Authentique. And then you'll see up here in the corner, once again, I used my washi tape from Pretty Tape on Etsy. And those little photos are like 2.5 by 3. And you see I just kind of layered them together to run down the page. This little, look at the little vampire doggy, how cute. I never really liked, or, well, I didn't think I liked the K & Company packets, but I really do. Give them a try, guys. Usually, the K & Company, they'll have an ephemera packet for every paper pad collection they do. There's the washi tape. I'll take you over here. You are my sweet pumpkin. And he really is. You see, I did some journaling there. It says Nate and his pumpkin from Mingus Farm. This year he decided to use a marker to do his pumpkin. He didn't want to cut it out. He wanted to use a Sharpie. So, can't say I blame him. And there you go. Now you all will be so glad to hear that I'm just about finished with the album that I'm doing for my grandson's mom. I know you've heard about it for the past 19 months, and I just wanted to do a few layouts for her that actually had the pictures on them. Every year, my grandson's mother really loves Halloween. That's her holiday. So she always keeps Nate for Halloween. But she is always sweet enough to make sure to give me pictures from his Halloween. So what I did, and this should be a little bit of a surprise for her, is I had copies made. And when I put her album together, where most of the pages are empty, her Halloween layouts will be complete. And this double page layout was super easy to do. I'm sure most of you recognize the collection. I hate to say this because I could be wrong. I think this is the Authentique, the October 31st collection. I am not sure about that. I'm going to try to check and see if I can make certain, and I will leave you the name, if I can, on the screen here. Anyway, very easy to do. I cut out the words Halloween 2011 with my Cricut. I used the Nate's ABCs cartridge to do so. The house over here is like flocked, and it was already on there. The witch is also flocked and was already on there. Now you'll see the little swirls around the witch and her broom. That was kind of faint on the paper, so I just took my stickles and my black diamond, I think it's called, or black soot, and I went over the swirly cues to kind of enhance them. I used my Scrapbook adhesives by 3L white paper corners on some of the photos, and I think that about explains everything. There's a wide shot, and let me zoom in for you. Now you'll see that picture of my grandson in the green and blue Mario or Luigi outfit. What I did, notice how that picture is on a totally black background. I did that with Photoshop. Guys, if you want me to do a video on that, let me know, and I'll be glad to. I am by no means a Photoshop expert, but through the years, I've learned how to do a few things using Photoshop. Anyway, there you go. Now this next layout, I have to call attention to one of my YouTube buddies who is Pokefan. That's Pokefan. I thought about you as I was deciding to share this layout today. I just watched Jan, and that's Pokey Fan. I just watched Jan's video where she had put together a double page layout of Christmas pictures, and she was talking about how aggravating it is and how it's difficult to do Christmas pictures. Well, once again, if you follow my videos, you know I did about 27,432 Christmas layouts this year. And Jan had asked, how do I stay so motivated? Well, my biggest motivation is I get such a kick when any portion of my family enjoys my scrapbook albums. Now, as y'all know, I do not even have one single solitary friend, family member, neighbor that likes to scrapbook. Not one. I do have some family members, and heck, even my son, grandson, and husband will occasionally act like they like looking at the completed project. Now, they don't like to see individual pages. They like to see the album totally done. And believe me, it has to have pop-ups and be interactive, and sometimes I gotta hide money inside the pages so that they'll really look at the page. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, the past few years at Christmas, I have laid out scrapbook albums with layouts from the previous Christmases. And everybody just loves that. So that's my motivation. When I was working so hard on the layouts this past year, it's because I want to make sure I have at least one new album with the older photos from like this previous year or years before out for my holiday guests. You know, I have probably 10 albums of scrapbook layouts completed. But you kind of feel funny saying, hey, want to see my album from 28 years ago? Or, hey, want to see an album of the house? But at Christmas, it's almost like you can lay a Christmas album out, and it's like part of the decorations. It's part of the tradition. I've actually thought about finding a place here in my home where I could buy a shelf, and I would put all of my finished scrapbook albums on that shelf. And people would know this is where the finished scrapbook albums are. I think I'd like to go look at them. You know what I mean? People enjoy looking at albums. I love looking at albums, whether I know the people in the pictures or not. I've always loved pictures. And I think other people, if they think they might be in it or they know the people well, they like to look at the albums too. It's just nobody's going to come into my house and say, hey, can I look at your albums? I do have one friend that'll do that, but I think it's because she feels sorry for me. Anyway, but I figured if I put a shelf up, well, not a shelf, but you know, like a shelving unit with like 4 or 5 shelves, and put my finished scrapbooks in there, I think the family would go and pull those books out more often. And the reason I think that is because they really seem to enjoy the Christmas albums being out. So that's my goal and motivation. Oh my gosh, I can turn any story into a novel, can I? Anyway, I wanted to share this with everyone, but I also wanted to point out to Jan that this double page layout holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 4x6 photos. Now, I trimmed down a few of them, but you're killing 8 birds with 1 stone. And I hate that phrase. I don't know why I always use it. I hate it. I would never, ever kill a bird. And I could not tell you where I got this paper to save my life. It's been in my stash for probably a good 6 to 7 years. I was so proud of myself for using this old paper that I gave myself a little shopping spree at 2 peas in a bucket. Okay, so here, these, see the little die cuts on there? They come from the K & Company Halloween ephemera package. They're like $2.99, $3.99. You can find them on Joann.com. That by no means that I suggest using Joann.com. I have had more problems with Joann.com than any other website ever. And I've always said I need to tell you guys about my problems with them, and one of these days I will. I'm not about complaining and taking any company under, not that my words would take Joann fabric and crafts under, but always watch your money when you're dealing with Joann.com. Make sure they've charged you the right amount. Just be careful. If you do that, you'll be fine. Listen, I never, like I think I said this before, this is the second time I filmed this, so if I'm repeating myself, please don't call the loony bin on me. But I always felt like I didn't like these packets, and I didn't even know if I liked them or not because I'd never bought one. But when I saw that they were die cuts, I thought, well, I can cut that stuff with my Cricut, and yes, I could, but it probably took me 15 minutes to put these die cuts on this paper, and even the words are from that packet. It would have, it would have probably taken me 2 hours to cut this stuff out with my Cricut. Sometimes fast is good. Anyway, that was a quick little double page layout of Halloween 2011. Okay guys, I'm going to try to hurry up here. Once again, my video's getting a little long. I made this 12 by 12 layout using the Dear Lizzy Neapolitan. What do I call it when it's ice? The cardstock, the yellow cardstock in the background is from Die Cuts with a View, one of those cardstock stacks, as is the green paper. You'll see over here in the corner, all of that paper and those stickers are from Dear Lizzy. The brads are from Dear Lizzy. The yellow sticking out of the little scallops here is tissue paper. And I used my little round Fiskars round circle punch to cut these out, and I folded them over. You'll see I cut out, I used that punch to cut these out of the paper. That is my Dear Lizzy Neapolitan stamp rub-ons from the collection. This is the Dear Lizzy Thickers rub-on. I cut around here. You'll see I outlined everything. This little stamp set is like one of those 99-cent GP Studios stamps that you can get from Joann Fabrics, and I stamped it on matching paper from the collection. These are little stickers from the remarks from the Dear Lizzy collection. This stamp is a railroad stamp, and it's from, let me think, Kaiser Craft, the Little Toot stamp collection. These are my 3L black photo corners. I rounded my edges. This paper here is from Dear Lizzy, black cardstock. And this is a picture of my grandson 3 years ago. Well, 2008, yeah, 4 years ago. Well, he was 2 in this, September of 2008. And my step-grandson, we went to see Thomas the Train. And what I did is I used my, let me back up here. I used my Photoshop again. Once again, if you want me to do a video on how I do this, let me know and I'll be glad to do so. It may take me a while to get that done for you, but I'll either post directions on how to do this, send you in the right place to learn how, or do a tutorial myself. Anyway, guys, I actually joined a challenge over at 2 Peas in a Bucket for the Dear Lizzy challenge, and I lost. But it was fun joining in, and the challenge was to do a layout or a project of any kind using the new Neapolitan collection. Maybe I would have won if I could say Neapolitan. But anyway, and it says, only in Sodor is a garbage can an ice cream cone. And I hope you can all see. And I just used my Signo Uniball black gel marker to go around the edges. And finally, ta-da-da-da, here is the last page for my grandson's mom's scrapbook album. Are you so glad that you'll never have to hear me say my grandson's mom's scrapbook album again? I did a picture of, or a layout of a picture with her and Nate when Nate was first born. Next to that single page layout, I wanted a picture of her and her daughter, Nate's little sister, when she was first born. And I did both pages, and I did share that other page. It's a couple of videos back, but I did both pages on Dear Lizzy Neapolitan paper. This is the background paint cardstock. It's from a Die Cuts with a View paper stack of neutrals or whatever. The words, the stickers there, I used the Prima sticky alphabets for that. The brown and white striped paper is from Dear Lizzy. And I used my scalloped edge border Fisker's Punch. Boy, that's a mouthful. These, I used white paint. That is acrylic white paint. I just kind of smeared it on there with a foam brush. The stickers are from the Remarks sticker book from Dear Lizzy. I added little brown specks by the flowers to kind of give it like that We're Falling, twinkle twinkle look. These buttons are from the Girls Papery. The stickers are from the Dear Lizzy collection. The paper with the roses, Dear Lizzy, as are the borders, the mason jars, and more of the brown striped paper, more of the white paint and flower stickers. It says Mom and Haley. You'll see I splattered some white paint, acrylic paint. The edges, I poked holes with my paper piercer and then went back with my Signoball Unigel marker and just drew little lines. Just kind of makes it look like it really was sewn with a sewing machine. Yeah, it's not perfect. I really love the Dear Lizzy collection. I just talked Jan from Pokey Fan into buying the collection, and Jan, you got a great deal on that. I hope you like it. I think it's one of my all-time favorite collections. Oh, with the pictures here, you'll see, here's what the original picture looked like. And In my photo editing software, you can see where this picture, I just zoomed in and cropped Mom. And then this picture, I zoomed in and cropped the baby and then put it together. And I felt like, that's where the title came from. I love how things fall into place. Mom and Haley. I hope you guys like that. I have one more layout to show you. I will be back with that in a different video, and I think I'll do a little bit of chat since I only have one layout to share. If you're at all interested, come back for the chat and one layout. Thanks so much for watching, guys. You don't know how much I appreciate you. Oh, listen, please. Something's been wrong with my YouTube software, I think, because sometimes I'm not getting all my videos from the people I subscribe to. If I've not answered you, ignored you, please don't think it's on purpose. Listen, I wish I didn't have to cook, clean, work, take care of kids. Nothing but swim in the pool and do layouts and talk to my YouTube buddies. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works around here. So please don't ever think that I don't appreciate you guys. I do. Talk to you in a minute.